So in your case, if you don't mind, can we start at the very, very end, actually, of your report and the definitions section that you kindly put in there? What is a cap rate?
Well, Adam, and it's funny you mentioned that because cap rates are a misunderstood item. A lot of people think that a cap rate is the same thing as a yield. And so what a yield is when you have a return on an investment. And a return on an investment, assume you put in $10, you get $1 a year. That would be the equivalent of a 10% yield. And a lot of people believe that's what a cap rate is. It's the same thing as yield. Well, it's not. While it might be the same thing as your initial yield going in, it actually is the combination of two things. Number one, it is the cost of capital. Number two, it is your growth expectations. You take two of those things together, and then you come up with a cap rate. And so a cap rate is applicable to a stabilized asset. A cap rate really isn't applicable to a non-stabilized asset. So you take that same example I gave you a moment ago. If you have a $10 investment, you get a $1 a year yield. That is a 10% yield. But you take that same investment and you have no yield. What is your cap rate? It's infinite. You can't even calculate it. So when you're dealing with stabilized assets, your cap rate might be very similar to your yield, but when you're dealing with non-stabilized assets, you really can't use a cap rate. You have to use price per square foot, or what most people will use is a stabilized cap rate. What will the cap rate be once you've stabilized the asset after you've used your acquisition costs and capital costs?